Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Well, thanks so much for coming to the Chatbot Conference. We're still waiting for some people to come, but it is what it is, so we're going to get started anyway. So, as you guys may know, my name's Stefan. I'm the host. I want to thank you so much for coming, and let's make this a great event. So, let's jump right in. I'm going to give you a little introductory talk today. It's going to take about 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to jump in with Google's talk. And this is going to give you an idea of what you could expect today and for tomorrow as well. So that's me. And one of the things that we really think about is like, what are our goals, right? Because people don't just like come to a conference. You usually do it for a bigger reason. And the number one reason why people come to a conference is so they could save a lot of time. And so with that in mind, we think about how we can give you all the most important information in one day. That way you don't have to spend, hours or days reading blog articles, reading books, talking to people. And then we also try to get all the right people in the room together so you could also network. So how do we do that? Well, what we do is we start with the 30,000-foot view. So what that means is that in our first panel, which is our ecosystem panel, we try to give you an overview of the entire bot ecosystem. And we try to give you, a separation between the signal and the noise. Now, for our ecosystem panel, we like to feature people that really know their stuff and have this kind of like overview of the bot ecosystem. So oftentimes we'll have speakers from the bot analytics companies. We have Dashbot, we have bot analytics, also some of the platforms like SmartLoop. And then we also get a lot of industry experts so they can give us a really good overview of what is happening in the space. And once we have an idea of what's happening in the space, it'll allow us to focus on the things that are really important and do deep dives. And then for the rest of the day, we're going to do deep dives in these really important areas. So what are those areas? It's kind of like what our schedule looks for today. We're going to start with customer service. And that's like what Google's doing through rich business messaging. And then we're going to jump into a little bit sales and marketing, NLP. We're going to have a number of really deep NLP talks today. And it's one of the most exciting areas because there's been a lot of growth in this area over the last year. So if you came to last year's conference, NLP was at a certain level where it finally was able to answer certain FAQ questions. And now we're finally at a level that we can do that with a lot more sophistication. So you're going to learn exactly what are some of the things you can do with NLP. And then we're also going to do a lot of focus on voice because voice is becoming a really great channel and it's finally starting to show ROI for enterprises. And then we end the day with our Zero to Launch panel. Now this panel is designed to take all the insights of the day and put them together in an action plan of actually how to start a bot project. And then tomorrow, you get to put all this knowledge together and build a bot. So tomorrow's workshop is pretty full, and tomorrow we'll be building a customer journey bot or a bot that you want to build for your company or for your project. So this is what tomorrow looks like. We start with designing the bot, we build it, we test it, and then after lunch, we're going to have 2 NLP parts. One is going to be a deep dive into NLP for hardcore engineers, and the other part is going to be for people that are just getting introduced to it, so you have an idea of exactly how to get started in it. So both of those tracks are available. And then let's talk a little bit about how you can get the most out of it. So we talked already a little bit about what your goals are. And the first one is you want to get really good discoveries in terms of like how to use this technology. And then the second one is networking, right? Chances are you probably came here and you might have a question or you might there might be something that you really want to know. And there's a really, really high probability that there's someone in this room that could help you with that. There's someone in this room that already has that information or that they've faced that challenge and that they've overcome it. And then we're going to end the day with a nice happy hour. So anytime you find something really, really interesting and insightful, feel free to share it through social media. That's one of the best ways to get going. And then pass the knowledge forward. And then also, last but not least, we want to thank our sponsors. They're all in the back. And if you have any questions, feel free to go out and say hi to them. They have a lot of useful insights that they could share with you guys as well. And once again, thanks for coming to the Chatbot Conference. If you want to learn a little bit more afterwards, you can always come to our blogs, Chatbots Life. We focus on bots. And Becoming Human, we focus on artificial intelligence. We get about 6 million views annually. We have over 50,000 subscribers. They're both great publications in those two areas. And thank you so much for coming. So give me a big round of applause. And next up, we'll have Sean coming up from Google.